I'm here today to tell you that your art matters. Your art which nobody sees, your art which you think is not important, matters. I just had an epiphany. I was looking through my old notebook, which usually has like random scraps of everything I think about, everything I want to create. And so this is like an archive of all my creative thoughts, my creative outputs, my creative moments. When I looked back at it, I just realized how much creativity I have put out into the world and how worth my art is. I just realized how important it is, how beautiful what I've created is. I've just realized how profound some of the things I say are, and I feel like this is not something that I realize every single day. Even as I create, I do not see my art as important. I do not see my art as valuable, and I think that it's very common for artists to never see their work as good. You felt this before when you were a kid. You took a pencil and you sketched something, and then someone tells you, oh, it looks really good, but to you look at it and it's like the more you keep on looking at it, the more mistakes you see, and the more you see how you can improve and become better, but you never truly see your art as important. You never truly see your art as good. You're always just judging your own creations, and I feel like that's the nature of being not just an artist but being a perfectionist. And I just realized that so many people out here judge their art by metrics, and social media has taught us that our art is only worth how many likes, how many views, how many comments, how many saves, all these superficial things. So I want to talk about the fact that your art is important. Yes, I'm going to be gassing you. Yes, I'm going to be pumping you and putting good spirits in you because you need to create art now more than ever before. I need a sip of water. That was a lot. Let's unpack why we no longer appreciate art in the right ways. So I was going through my notebook and I realized some notes that I'd written for a podcast episode that was titled Art as Proof That I Was Here. At that time, I was exploring the notion of creating art to prove that you are alive, to prove that you held a space in the universe at some point in time, and not really to create art for the sake of likes, views, and metrics which we've learned to judge our art by. And in this breakdown, I found a line where I've written, we stopped creating to explore and we started creating to prove. Social media algorithms reward specific types of format, clarity, perfection, trends, and clickbaity qualities. We interpret metrics as gauges for how good or bad our art is. Because if a post or video got 5 likes and another got 5 million likes, we know which video is the better video. Is it really true that if a post got 5 million likes and another got 5 likes, that the 5 million likes one is better than the other? Based off of how we judge art in this day and age, yes. We have learned to judge art by how much it's been seen. Sometime back, I realized that when I was scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or any type of short form content platform, I would only watch a video if it had a specific number of likes. Like, that was where my eyes landed first. And when I caught myself in this, I was like, why are you doing that? I was learning to gauge the piece of art that was before me based off of the metrics which people had already rated the video. Have people liked this video? If it has 10 likes, I skip it. If it has 1 million likes, I watch the video even if it doesn't make sense to me. And when I caught myself in this, I started like going back and reevaluating how I was judging the pieces of content which I was watching and why I was judging them that way. That's when I came to realize that we have learned that metrics are the way to judge art. That good art, bad art is judged by how many people have seen it, how many people have liked it, how many people have commented, how many people have saved, clicked all the buttons basically. And this means that we also judge our own art by the same metrics. While I was watching these videos on short form platforms and judging them by the metrics, I was still a creator at that time. I still am a creator, and I realized if that's how I judge other people's art, that's definitely how I judge my own art. And how I judge my own art matters because it tells what kind of art I'll make. It shows what kind of motivation and creativity I'll show up with when I come to create the art. So I pulled back from looking at the like section. I'd literally try and block that section with my finger so that whenever I scroll onto a new video, I'm just focusing on the video and realizing, do I want to watch this video? Do I like where it's going? Do I not? Before I go to interact with the buttons or not. And by doing this, I started to view art through a different lens. However you look at things in the world is the same way you look at yourself and what you create. We forget that art is more than just capturing people's attention. Art should make you think. Art should make you see the world and see people's different perspectives. Art is so wide, and I feel like social media and the way we view art nowadays condenses it into something that we think it should be. Well, it's not like that. And I specifically want to talk to people who feel like their art is not getting out there. I want you to know that your art is important. Your art is valuable, no matter how it feels right now, no matter the kind of metrics you are receiving. Even if every video keeps on getting lower likes, lower views, your art is important simply because your art is proof that you are here. Start seeing your art as a blueprint, or not a blueprint, a footprint that you're leaving on the world. We are all going to fade away someday, but the pieces that you create are eternal. They will keep on living on in this cloud, in this internet sphere. Even if you're not creating on the internet, whether you're creating art pieces, whether you're creating music, these things live on past us. So whatever you're creating is not just a solitary piece that you want to go viral. It is a whole universe that you're creating. You're creating a sphere. You're creating a world of your own. You're literally taking something out of yourself and putting it into a visible format, whether it's a painting you're doing, music you're doing, poems, writing, whatever form of art you're creating is a piece of yourself that you're putting into something that can be seen, can be heard, can be physically interacted with. Even our conception of metrics is just so weird, because if someone likes your video, if 10 people like your video, you might be like, oh my god, just 10 people. But 10 people coming to you and literally saying, I really liked your video, would really motivate you and inspire you. So we have learned to see art through a very wrong lens, and we need to wipe that lens, make it clear so that we can see art in the right way. I have also realized that art is somehow a way of life, and if you want to live a better life and to be more in tune with your art, you need to live your art, like actually live your art, express yourself in the ways that you want your art to be seen, express yourself artistically, the way you speak, the way you dress, the things that you do in your daily life. Art needs to be kind of weaved into your life like a mesh, a web that goes into your life and intertwines itself into everything that you do. That's how you create like a cohesive sense of artisticness in your life. When we judge our art by metrics, we lose so much. We lose the fun, we lose the enthusiasm, the motivation to create. It's never easy to create if you think that your art is worthless. Whenever you feel like something is less than valuable, you will not put in the same amount of energy you would have if it was valuable enough. You need to think of your art as if it's already doing the best it could do. Imagine that you have already succeeded, you're already where you'd want to be in your artistic career. How would you be creating? And try and create like that. Every piece of art that you put out, put your best into it. Try and feel the art, try and realize what you're trying to communicate and how you can make it be communicated. It's not about how fast you get there, it's about getting there, the process of getting there, the things that you do on a daily basis, the way that you live your art. That's what matters. And I hate it so much when people try and value you and your art by how many people are seeing it, by how many people have liked it, how many people have done this and that to the art. That's not the value of your art. The value of your art is the creation of the art and the putting out of the art for others to see. Your piece of art can touch one person and that's all it needs to do. This video can get to one person and that's all it needs to do. People need to feel the connection that your art brings. People need to feel whatever you have to bring to the table. There's so many times I've seen a video which has really touched me, or a piece of art which has really touched me, and only few people have seen it aside from myself. And I'm like, why is it, I'm really starting to realize the language that we use when we talk about content and art that's put online is it just shows that we judge it by metrics. Because if you find like a really good video, people will be like, this should blow up, like why doesn't this have more views? And I get that maybe people are like, more people should see this, but also they're kind of being like, why is it so low ranked despite the fact that it's a good video, it's a good piece of music? Like why is it so underrated despite the fact that it's so good? Because it shows us that we are so used to metrics, to use metrics to judge our art. So in your head you're like, this should be top, it should be like having high metrics because it's a good piece of art, but it's low. So there's a kind of cognitive dissonance that you experience because of that. If you've created art, you know that the process of creating art is messy, it is confusing. Sometimes you have something that you want to put out there but you don't know how to put it out. You're like, I have something that I want to say but I don't know how to say it. And art is now what you get out of that process, what you get out of that process of trying to discover how to put out whatever it is that is within you. If you think about art in a deeper way, you will find like a really deeper connection to it, and that is what you need for your life to feel richer. I believe that you can have the worst of circumstances going on in your life, but the art that you create out of it becomes so much more meaningful than you would have ever thought. If you think about it, writers who are going through really deep, hard, depressive ruts wrote books, created songs, created pieces of art that have gone to transcend them and live on past them and tell so many stories and be seen as great pieces. From the emotional turmoil, from the mental turmoil they were going through, they were able to take that and put it out, and it was something that people could call beautiful. Pieces of art like Van Gogh's Starry Night, things which he created when he was in a bad place mentally, were able to come and shape generations of art were able to become like pieces which are highly regarded. Music which was sung when someone was in a really low position has come to be deemed as music that has revolutionized eras. Pieces of art that you create do not need to be created when you are sane. They do not need to be created when you're happy, go lucky, you feel good. Even in the bad spots, you can create art. And that's what I love about art. It does not discriminate your emotions, your feelings. It takes everything, and it's like everything that you're feeling is a raw material to create something beautiful that can transcend you. Let us learn to value art by how we interact with it, what it makes us feel, what it shows us about ourselves. Art is like the fabric of reality. That's what I like to think of it as. It's a mirror. It shows us things about ourselves. When someone looks at your piece of art, they see themselves in it. They don't even see you. They don't see the painting that you've painted. They see how it reflects their own life. They see how the contrast of colors reflects how they have high moods and low moods, how they have seasons of extreme happiness and seasons of extreme depression. They see themselves in a piece of art, and you should create art to show people themselves. While in the real sense, as you create the art, you are coming to unravel yourself and to see yourself better. Let us not let ourselves be pulled back into not creating art simply because it is being judged by metrics, and the metrics are saying we're not good enough. Keep on creating, keep on creating. I love when people actually pull away from the norms of creating art in this day and age and create their own kind of thing. There's things which we're conditioned to do by the day and age that we're in, but if you're able to pull out of that and just create from a sense of wanting to truly express yourself as truly as possible, as real as you can, to just put yourself on a canvas, put yourself in a video, put yourself in an emotion, and be able to show that as a piece of art, then it can come out as something really touching, something that really helps you connect with yourself. I can think of very few artists or creators who create things which I just really resonate with, and I feel like the things that they create are so raw and so real that I feel sentimental watching them. And that's the kind of art I endeavor to create, art that reminds us that we are human and we are just imperfect little bodies walking on this rock that's floating in space. Because I feel like ever so often I need to be reminded of that. I need to be reminded that I'm human, that I need to rest, that I need to just be imperfect, make mistakes, fail, flop. I've always just held myself so tightly, and I've learned to now create art as a way to free myself, to just do things for the sake of it. Today I just felt like drawing on my hand, and I drew on my hand. It doesn't have to be serious. I can just set myself free through creating art. Art needs to be that medicine to whatever you feel like needs to be soothed inside you. We need to create more pieces of art. We need more painters who paint from the heart. We need more people who create things not to be seen or liked or judged right by the metrics, but people who do these things for the sake of art. Art for the sake of art. Art as proof that you are here. Art that creates to express and not really to be seen. I need another sip. So I think it's so important for you to pull out from the mindset of my art is not valuable because people do not see it, and realize that your art is valuable simply because you are creating it, simply because it is a representation of something. It doesn't have to be good art, it doesn't have to be perfect, the colors don't have to blend nicely, the music doesn't have to hit right, but as long as you're creating it, it is worth something. And always remember that anything that you create is beautiful, because the way you feel about your art really matters, since you are the one who is creating that art. The way you feel about it matters, so protect the way you feel about your art. Don't let outside influences, don't let outside noises make you feel like your art is not enough, because your art matters.